today I am going back to the place that I camped last weekend but didn't get to hike at. I looked stuff up last night. Looks like there's a loop around the lake that is about a little over a mile, and then the lake's a pond also. It's like there's like 8 miles of another um, trail, which I want to do part of, but obviously not all of it. Just trying to get out there and see some stuff. Lots of Spanish moss. For some reason, they prefer the live oaks. I don't recall why that is, but it's a thing. Probably some sort of gold, maybe? I don't know. I'm not good at knowing the feathers. The reflection. So pretty. And here is the tree. The bald cypress up close. Nice. The green and all. I just saw another lizard. Oh, there he is. Do you see him? It's looking like another six-lined race runner. I'm always so interested in the jerky way that they move, the same way that birds tend to. I think it's just because our eyes are perceiving it as being jerky movements. I don't know if they actually are. I think it's probably like their sense of time is different than our sense of time, kind of a thing. I think this is mockingbird, which is Florida's state bird. See him up there? These are some itsy bitsy little rabbit bells. Cute. This is smilax or greenbrier. It's very pokey and also penis shaped. It's incredible to me how easily you can spot some of these anoles. It's just so green. That is called a dewlap, and it's part of their mating ritual as well as a territorial reaction. Wow, what a leap. I'm not sure. I just tore this in half. Kind of tree this is. pretty neat. Gorgeous. It occurred to me, like, maybe people don't know how to spot lizards and stuff. You'll hear a lot of rustling in the leaves and the understory. And every time I hear a little rustle, it's a little bit more than a leaf falling on the ground. If it keeps rustling, it's usually a snake, and they'll try to go under whatever's nearby. If it's a lizard, usually they stop and you have to scan and look for them. Or if there's a tree nearby, they'll scurry up the tree and you'll have to check the tree. But it's just very interesting. I just saw in a knoll, well, I heard some kind of lizard on the ground, and there was a tree. So I stopped, scanned the ground, it wasn't on the ground, and then looked at the tree trunk. And there he was, just looking at me. Just a little tip or trick. Not sure what these are. They're beautiful. Alright. Looks like a squirrel nest up there. A squirrel. It is right there. Nice nest, little guy. Looks great. See it? Very spacious. Not sure what these guys are either. Or these ones. Orange milkworт. A lovely little hike. People are starting to show up to use the beach, so I think I'm going to make myself scarce and maybe go do some of, I don't know if you saw that, but it was a butterfly, a swallowtail. I've seen like 3 now. Maybe some of that longer trail. It's a red-bellied woodpecker. I read somewhere that there was a trail this way, and I think I found it. I think it is the Florida Trail, which goes through all of Florida. And we'll be looking for these orange markings. It is a very long trail, so I will be turning around at some point. I've already seen a woodpecker, so that is a great sign. I'm not sure what these guys are. They're very pretty. It's just so beautiful. And these trees just feel larger than life. That's crazy. Very velvety. It's Like this bridge has seen better days. I hope that was a squirrel. I love the way they look at you. Look how green that guy is. Oh, he's turning brown. Too late, I already saw you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Alright, I think that I'm ready to head back. I think that might be a summer tanager. It's very red. Oh, that might be a female. I'll have to pull out my Merlin. It was 2 tanagers, a male and a female. I didn't get video of them, but the male is very red and the female is a lemony yellow and more muted. That's my first one that I knew what it was. Look at that snag. Huge. A snag is a dead tree. Got some daisy fleabane. This area is usually a lot wetter. In all the things that I was looking up, it said, your feet are gonna get wet, it's gonna be very wet. But we are in a drought, so nothing's wet. But you can tell that it's supposed to be wet based on all the moss growing and the milkwort. Seems like it grows near more water-based areas. I saw something scurry to the other side, and I would guess a fence lizard. And I'm right. Like I said, they tend to take to the trees. I know the anoles and the fence lizards and even the skinks are very common here, but I still love seeing them. They are my favorite part of this state. I just found some wild blueberries. Reminds me of Maine, and they're delicious. I did eat one before I looked it up, but I was so sure, and they are, so. They're just teeny, teeny tiny, but they're delicious. I just found a piece of a pot, but it's for turpentine, and it comes from pine trees, and yeah, they used to harvest it and use these pots. This is just a piece of one. A very cool find. They were invented in 1902. They were connected to the pine trees underneath what's called a cat face, which is just where the bark is stripped. You'd strip the bark off, you'd attach the pot under the cat face, and you would harvest the sap, which was used for things like soap, other stuff. A 1900s relic. I'm so lucky today. Well, we're at the end. It was a nice little hike too. Just a great time.